Good morning. My name is Marysol Castro, and I'm the managing attorney at Diocesan Migrant and Refugee Services in El Paso, Texas. I'm here on behalf of the thousands of migrants stuck in Juarez, only a few miles away from my office. I'm here to tell you that when I fight for them every day, they're fighting to stay alive in Mexico. They come from various countries asking for asylum. I'm here to tell you about Julio. Julio's forced to live in a shelter in Juarez. He has sent me a video of a large, overcrowded room with about 700 other desperate asylum seekers. They are not criminals. They are asylum seekers that for decades have been welcomed into the United States with dignity. The Trump administration changed that by implementing MPP and Title 42. Both are inhumane and unjust. Not one single Supreme Court justice would want their family members treated that way if they were desperately asking for help after their lives were threatened. I was not born in the US, but I was welcomed in this country under the Bracero Amnesty Program, something that the opposite, completely opposite of what MPP and Title 42 are intended to do. Now, asylum seekers are treated like criminals or simply rejected. I'm here to tell you about Lisbeth. Lisbeth fled Cuba after the government there threatened to kill her because of her political beliefs. Lisbeth traveled for months to get to the United States. Lisbeth was turned away at the port of entry and sent back to Juarez, where she was brutally raped by a Mexican police officer. The officer had been harassing her for months. Lisbeth reported it over and over at the port of entry, but time and time again was told to remain in Mexico. I told Lisbeth I was coming here today to tell her story. She wanted to tell you this. Imagine being in fear for your life and knocking on the door. The person on the other side of that door is the only thing and the only one that can save your life. But instead, they tell you, stay out. They tell you to continue to put your life at risk in this unknown place. This place Lisbeth knew nothing about. This place is Juarez, known as one of the most dangerous cities in the world. Lisbeth was told to stay out instead of being welcomed with dignity. Stay out, to be thrown on the ground and brutally raped on a Juarez street. The injury so severe, Lisbeth spent days in the hospital, missing her court date as a result. The court issued a deportation order while she recovered from multiple critical surgeries. Despite the severity of her injuries, Lisbeth recovered and tried to enter the US again and again was told, stay out. An immigration judge denied all my multiple efforts to reopen her case. It was the Board of Immigration Appeals who finally agreed that she had suffered extreme circumstances and agreed to reopen her case and finally gave her a chance at asylum. I'm here to tell you about Yeti. For 3 nights, Yeti slept in a shelter in Juarez, just a few feet away from a man who had been dead for 3 days before anyone in the crowded shelter even noticed. The man had been complaining about his medical condition for days, but was ignored. I'm here to tell you about 3 other women who fled Cuba after they were threatened and tortured by the government. They too were returned to Mexico. The crime in Juarez was so terrifying that they found a way to climb over the 18-foot border wall only to fall off and ended up nearly paralyzed. I'm here to tell you about Barbara, a Cuban nurse who delivered a baby in the Panama jungle on the way to the US to be separated from her husband and placed in MPP. These are the moments in history that we say define our nation. All of the people I have told you about today and the thousands of others who cannot find representation, they all deserve to be safe, not stranded.